So there are 4 perfect intervals. Do you remember what they are?
1, 5, 8, and something else.
Hold on. 1, P, perfect 1. Perfect 5th. What was the other one?
The 8th.
Perfect 8th. That's an octave. Yep.
And there's something else.
There is another one. Perfect 4th. Here it is. Perfect 4th. Okay, in a major scale like this, with the fundamental being sustained throughout, okay, according to the major key, then all of these other intervals will either be perfect or
Major.
major. So that's major 2nd, major 3rd, major 6th, major 7th. You guys took notes on that last time. But let me describe the rule again. In a major scale or in a major key, the 1st, 4th, 5th, and 8th will be perfect, and everything else will be major. Okay, that according to the key part is a term that we heard a little bit last week, thanks to the maestro. The word is diatonic. So I'm going to leave this up here, even though I'm getting rid of everything else, because I'm going to refer back to this word a bunch of times. Okay. So what does that look like in practice? You had that down already, so I have no problem just erasing it quickly. Let's say I wanted on an assessment, I want you to identify this interval. So there's a quality and a quantity. The quantity is like the number, right? Like quantity. How many, like how much money you have in your account? What's the quantity of dollars? So like that's always going to be a number. And the quality will either be major, minor, could be one of the perfects, diminished or augmented. Do you want me to write those down for you?
Yeah.
And I'll do it in order too. So I'll start with a perfect. If you're going to enlarge a perfect interval, then it becomes augmented. If you're going to reduce it, it becomes diminished. The augmented is denoted by the plus. The diminished is like noted by the little degree symbol. Sorry, you can move wherever you need to move. In the major or minor intervals, we just add the major, minor, diminished, augmented.
So which one is which again?
What do you mean?
Like, you said for a certain scale, one is what?
For a certain scale, 1 is 1. I don't really understand the question. Okay. Well, if it clears up in your head, let me know. Okay. So here is my first interval. Let's get the number first. Count note head to note head, and tell me the number that you come up with. You didn't count note head. D is 1.
7.
The 7th. This is a 7th of some sort. Okay, so my next step is to look at the major key signature of this bottom note. So what's this bottom note?
Natural.
What is this? What note is this?
Oh, D.
D. So D major. Look at your circle of fifths and tell me the key signature of D major. 2 what?
Sharp.
2 sharps. So what sharps do they have to be? And what's the order of sharps?
F and C.
For the C, fat cats. Okay. Knowing that, remember, diatonic according to the key signature, is the C sharp diatonic to D major? Does that occur like normally in D major? C sharp? Fat cats? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's cats.
Oh. Yeah.
So C sharp is diatonic to this. And if you recall what we talked about not but 3 minutes ago, you can tell me whether this 7th is major, minor, diminished, or augmented.
Major.
It is a major 7. Because the C sharp is diatonic to D major, according to the key, remember, any perfect interval will diatonically be perfect. Any other interval will diatonically be major. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's do another one. We'll stick with treble clef. And how about this one? An E flat to an A flat. What's the quantity on this? What's the number? It's a 4th. So we reference our circle of fifths. What is the key signature for E flat major? Because that's my bottom note.
Whatever E flat.
3 flats, what are they? Let's see what the flats.
A. No, B. B, E, A.
B, E, and A flat. Okay, so you said 3 flats. Is this one of them that you just said?
D. B, E, A, D.
No.
Oh,
You had it right. It's 3 flats. B, E, A.
yeah,
Okay. Is this one of the flats that you just mentioned?
yeah.
It is. So that means it's diatonic. And the 4th is a perfect interval. So this is a perfect 4th. Understand?
Yeah.
We're gonna do like 29 and a half more of these to make sure you guys are solid. Let's do another one. Give me a note name.
G.
G. How about that one? Okay. So let's get the number down first. It's always best to get the number down.
Six.
It's a 6th. Now look at the key signature for G major. What is it?
Treble. Oh wait. Key signature.
Yeah. What I'm asking for is how many sharps, how many flats?
One sharp.
There's one sharp. What does it have to be?
F.
It has to be F sharp. Okay, is that this?
No.
No. So then in the key of G major, E should be natural. There should be nothing in front of it, correct? And I have nothing in front of it here, so that makes this what kind of 6th?
Major.
It's a major 6th. We will start modifying them. You're going to see more than just majors and perfects, but for now I want you to understand the process of finding the number, finding the key signature of the bottom note, and seeing if that one is affected or not. And if it like is diatonic to the key, then you know you have like a major or a perfect interval. Okay, good, Nick?
Yeah.
I don't want to lose you today. This is a big one. All right, let's do another one. Give me a note name, Chris.
A.
8. Here's an interval. Let's get the number first.
Zero.
Just say it as the second.
Seven.
Yeah, it's like the name of a grade you're in at school, or you have a sibling somewhere. They're in 2nd grade. Yeah, so that's a 2nd. All right. Find the key signature of this bottom note and tell me how many sharps, how many flats.
Three sharps.
3 sharps. Yeah, that's right. What are they?
I don't know how to figure that
Okay, do you remember the order of sharps?
out. Oh.
Fat cats get down at every bar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what are the first 3 sharps?
F, C, G.
Fat cats get. Okay, what note name is that one?
G.
Nope.
Oh no, it's B.
It's a B, yeah. Okay, so I have a B natural on the board. It's not fat, cats, or get. So this is diatonic to the key of A major. So what kind of 2nd is that?
Major.
It's a major 2nd. Yeah, that's right. You know, we can think about key signatures as, all right, so A major has fat cats get, but then like all the other ones are natural. We just don't say it, right? So there's F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, but then the rest of them are natural. D natural, A natural, E natural, B natural, and yeah, the G natural's in there. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a note name. You did the A? Nick, give me another note name. F. Alright. This is gonna get saucy now. What is the number? Nick.
Fifth.
Fifth is correct. Excellent. Nick, what is the key signature of that bottom note?
It's a natural.
Is it a what?
Oh. So there would only be one flat.
There would be one flat, and it would be what?
F.
F. Okay. No, not F. What's the first flat in the order of flats?
Oh,
B. Yeah, B's greatest common factor. Okay. So there's no C flat in the key of F major. So if this were like if I eliminated that, it'd be pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
It'd be perfect fifth. But instead, I have done this. I've taken that top note, I've erased it by one, so I've made it bigger. Which one of these denotes larger?
Oh, A.
A. Do you remember what it's called?
No.
Augmented. Look, there are there's a cosmetic procedure that you can have done, right? You might want to get your lips augmented so that they become bigger. That's how I always say. So when the interval becomes bigger, it's augmented. If you're gonna be a real jerk and you're gonna bully somebody, you might want to diminish their accomplishments or their accomplishments, and you might want to like put down what they do. That's diminish. You're reducing it. So augmented is to grow, diminished is to reduce. So when I take that C sharp and I raise it, and now there's more space in here, that's why. Okay, that's the easiest way to remember it. But yeah, augmented fifth. Let's do another one. Give me a note name. C. All right, starts with a number. C to a B flat. This is the seventh. We got lost in
I
the
got
shuffle.
it, man. Pretty cool, that.
All right, now we have to figure out a quality. What is the key signature for C major? Zero. There's no sharps, there's no flats. That's why C sharp is a wonderful key to like do examples out of. But there's a flat on the board here. So if this were going, this is not diatonic to C major. So if it were a natural, pretend for a minute that it was a C to a B, I would know what kind of seventh I had, right?
Major.
I'd have a major seven, but I've taken that top note and now I've reduced it.
So it would be D, diminished.
Diminished, that's right. Simple?
Yeah.
I think so. I do think so.
Another thing that you said for like the raising and lowering,
Yeah,
A is capital and D is lowercase.
that's right. So what's the connection that you're making?
So A is bigger and D
Yes.
is smaller.
Yes, it is. That's on purpose, by the way. Same thing with major and minor. That's why major is denoted by a capital letter, and minor is and minor is a lowercase letter. That's why. So yeah.
Are you coming up with like
Yeah, off the top of my head, I'm doing it. Because this is how it's going to be on.
Like a quiz.
Yeah. How about this? I wonder if we can like work our brains and go the opposite way now. But there are a couple danger spots here that like I should tell you about. Give me a note name. Any note name.
And
G.
A. All right, I heard A first. How about this? What if I said write a minor sixth below this note? You know, maybe we could figure out what note name it is first, and then add accidentals as we need. So I don't know, what would the note name be? What's a sixth below an A? Well, A is 1, G is 2.
the D.
Nope, that'd be a fifth.
Oh, so it's
It's C, agreed. All right, well, I have the sixth part done. So, fine, now I just have to make it a minor sixth. Well, I look at the key of C major, and you know, C major has no sharps, no flats. That's nice. So that makes this A natural, right? As it stands right now, this is a major sixth. All right, so just by affecting this bottom note, because like some clever student somewhere was like, oh, I'll just put a flat on there. Like, no, I gave you that one. This is the note that you have to write in. So just by affecting this bottom note right here, how can I reduce this interval to make it a minor? Just by affecting this note. This is me doing the Watusi.
Change the note.
Well, it has to be a C in order to be a sixth. So with accidentals, how can I modify this note right here and reduce the interval? Make the space smaller.
Bring it up.
Bring it up. How do I do that? How do I bring a note up?
Just like putting a sharp.
But just putting a sharp on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Now I've made a minor sixth.
Okay. I thought, yeah.
I thought you couldn't like put anything on there. because
Well,
it's-
this is the one, you know, like on a quiz. That's, I give you this note and I say, write a minor sixth below it. So like some snark monkey somewhere is gonna go, oh, it's a major sixth. No, it's a minor sixth. Like, no, you can't do that. Like, you gotta leave that one alone and figure out the minor.
Is that right though?
It is, but you've modified the wrong thing and you're just being like too clever by half now. It's a little of, you know, find X. Here it is. Found it. It's right here. Right on the side of the paper. It's not exactly that. It's like a step below that. Okay, so how about some more? I'm just keeping it super basic today.
It's fun.
Give me a note name.
G.
G? You like G, don't you? How about this?
I think I killed the game.
You got him.
Is it small?
There's a
Is it
small one. We got him though, don't worry.
Is it
All right,
small one?
let's get a number going for this. What's the quantity?
It's a fourth.
The fourth. So far, so good. All right, well, let's look at the key signature G major.
It's one short.
There's one sharp, and what is it? What's the first sharp in the order of sharps?
Is
Fat. Okay. So is that this?
that- Nope.
No, it isn't. This should be a C natural. If it was, it'd be a perfect fourth. We'd be good to go. But that sharp in there, as I do the Watusi, makes this interval larger.
So you need
You need to demonstrate.
to.
Whoa, no. Excuse me. I'm asking you to identify this interval as it's written on the board. We know it's a fourth. We also know if it were a C natural, it would be a perfect fifth. But because there's the sharp on it, there's more space now. What is it?
Augmented.
Augmented. This is an augmented fourth.
Yeah. Because if it was perfect, it would be like this, but augmented.
That's correct. And you know, sometimes in math, I remember like starting algebra way back in the day, like the teacher pulls out this scale right? Anything that you do on one side, you have to do on the other side, otherwise like it doesn't equal out. And I think about that a lot for this. And I'll show you an example of like how I do that. Here, let's identify this interval, and I'll show you how sometimes like algebra and what you do to one side you have to do to the other side, how that might apply here. So let's get a number going on this. It's a sixth. This is a trick question. What is the key signature for G sharp major?
G sharp.
This is a trick question. What is the key signature for G sharp major?
There isn't one.
There isn't one. So how can I figure out what's diatonic to G sharp major if G sharp major isn't a thing? Well, here's what I can do. What if I just did this? I'll bring this G down, but then I have to do it up here to the E as well. Well, is there a key signature for G major?
Yeah.
Yes, there is. What is it? It's an F sharp. There's one sharp in there. So that's not E, right? If it were G natural to E natural, that'd be a major sixth. But just by like doing this temporarily, so G natural, E natural is a major sixth. Well, I just brought that top note down. So what is that? No. What's down from a major? Minor. So this is a minor sixth. And that absolutely stands here. So like by just temporarily bringing both of them down into a key that actually exists, G major, now we figured out that's a minor sixth. There is another way to do that too, by the way.
So on the left,
Yeah.
like thing that you got, you only use that when it would be a perfect.
Correct. And do you remember what they are?
1, 4, 5, 8.
Yes. First, fourths, fifths, eighths, seconds, thirds, sixths, sevenths. Yeah. So here's a preview of coming attractions. 'Cause I don't want your brains to melt completely today. Here's another strategy for that. There's this phenomenon called the rule of nines, where what if I just like temporarily bring that top note down an octave to here? All right, well, what's the key signature of that bottom note? E. What is it? Four. Fat cats get down. So G was one of them. So this is a major third. So according to the rule of nines, which I don't know how much time we want to invest in this, you take that 9, subtract 3 from it, and what do you get? A sixth, which we actually already knew. And then you reflect the qualities. When I say reflect, it's like a mirror. And here is the line of reflection. In a perfect, it reflects back to a perfect. So if you're a perfect specimen, if you're just like a GQ model and you see your reflection, you think, wow, a perfect man looks perfect in the mirror. If you're anything less than that, then major will flip to minor, and minor will flip to major. So when I reflect a major back, now it's a minor. I think that rule's a little bit more complicated than just like temporarily throwing some accidentals on both of them, bring one down, bring the other down. But I don't know, maybe you're messing with some stuff that you might not want to mess with. Maybe that ends up more confusing, where it's just like.
That thing confused me already.
By the way, this reflection, a diminished reflects to an augmented, and vice versa. And here, same thing. An augmented reflects to a diminished, because here's your line of reflection. So it gets. Look, I never thought I'd even talk about the rule of nines today, or reflections. So like, I'm pleased as punch that we're able to do this already. When we come back tomorrow, we'll do more of this. You'll have to work out a lot of these intervals on your own. Like, I'm just trying to get you to stand on your own feet. Even if it's a little shaky at first, like a newborn baby deer, that's fine. Like I can live with that, and I can help you out as we go along. So it's no homework tonight. We'll pick this up tomorrow. We have a full week ahead of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't next week 3 days?